Guys, welcome to Coding Bytes channel. Today we are going to start with our SQL Day 7 series. In today's Day 7 series, we are going to start with our SQL constraint topic. So what is a constraint? Constraint are the conditions that are assigned to a particular column to validate the data. As we know, we are having the student table, and in the student table we are having student name, student age, student roll number. So that particular column is having particular data type. So if I want to if I want to validate the data which are going to be in that column, for that we are using the constraint. There are 5 types of constraint: unique, not null, check, primary key, foreign key. Let's understand each one of the constraint line by line. So let's start with an unique constraint. Unique is a constraint which is assigned to a particular column which cannot accept repeated or duplicate value. Let's suppose we are having the student we are having a college. In a college there are multiple students. So multiple students can have the same name, can have the same age, but it cannot have the same roll number. It can be a unique. So for that roll number column, we can assign unique as an constraint. So roll number must always be an unique roll number. Let's understand about the not null constraint now. Not null is a constraint which is assigned to a particular column which cannot be null or which are mandatory. So let's take an example: name. Name cannot be a null. Every student must have their name, and it is a mandatory. So in a student table we can assign a not null constraint to a name. We can assign not null constraint to roll number as well. So roll number can be unique, roll number can be not null. Third one is the check constraint. Check is a constraint which is assigned to a particular column for extra validation. Check constraint is assigned with the condition. If the condition is true, then value gets accepted, else rejected. So let's take an example. In a student table, we are having the student phone number. So phone number length must be a 10. If student giving phone number length like only 9-digit number, if the student is giving, then it should not get accepted. So we can assign check constraint to the phone number. If the phone number is a 10-digit, then only accept the phone number or else get it rejected. See, here I have given the check constraint with the length phone number is equal to 10. If you student enter 9-digit phone number, it cannot get accepted. Also let's take one employee table. In an employee table, if I want to check the salary of an employee, so that every employee has a salary must be greater than 0. It cannot be a 0 value or it cannot be a minus less than 0. So we can assign the check constraint to the salary column. So here one more constraint is there is a null constraint. Null is a keyword which is represent empty cells. Any operation performed with null, the result will be null. Let's suppose I am multiplying salary with a null. So salary into null will always be a null. Here I have given you the practical example. Let's suppose I have taken one table as an employee table. In an employee table, I am having employee number, employee name, salary, and department number. So what is an employee number? Employee number data type is a number. Employee name data type is varchar. Salary data type is number. Department number data type is number. And here I am assigning it can accept 4-digit, it can accept 13 character, 30 character, it can accept 10-digit, it can accept 10-digit. Employee number must be a unique and not null. Why unique and why not null? Every employee has their employee number, so it cannot be a not null. Unique means every employee has a separate, not a duplicate employee number. It must be a unique, distinct. Employee name must be a not null. every employee has their name, so it cannot be not null. Salary should not be a not null, and we can apply check constraint here. Salary must be a greater than 0 or 1 LPA. Department number should be a not null, but it can be a any like two employee can work in one department, so it can be a duplicate. So only not null constraint is apply here. Also, I am having employee number, high salary, low salary. This is in salary table, this is in department table. So here I am referring the employee number of employee table. So here salary table is taking the employee number, so it can be act as a foreign key here. And employee number is a foreign key for salary table. Let's check an department number. For a department number, it is a department number is primary key for department table, but for employee table it is foreign key. So what is in primary key and what is in foreign key? Let's understand it in detail. Now primary key. Primary key is a constraint which is used to assign to a column to identify a record uniquely from the table. Let's suppose student is having a unique student roll number, so it must be a primary key of that table. It cannot be a duplicate, it cannot be a null. What is the characteristics of primary key? We can have only one primary key in a table. It cannot accept repeated or duplicate value. It cannot accept null, which I have told you previously. It is a combination of unique and not null. So in this table, employee number is a combination of unique and not null. So for that employee table, primary key is an employee number. It is a combination of unique and not null. Primary key is not mandatory but recommended to have one in a table. It is not mandatory, but it should be. It is for a good practice we can keep one primary key in one table. So this is all about the primary key. Let's understand about the foreign key. Foreign key is a constraint which is used to establish connection between two tables or multiple tables. So here I am having two tables. One is an employee table, one is a department table. So here in an employee table I am using the department number from a department table, and I want to establish the connection between these two tables. For that, foreign key constraint is useful. Let's understand characteristics of foreign key. We can have n number of foreign keys in a table. Like one table can have 2 or 3 or n number of foreign keys. It can accept repeated or duplicate values. Here in a department number we are having the duplicate value. So same way foreign key can accept repeated or duplicate values. It can accept null values. It is not a combination of unique and not null. These three characteristics are opposite of primary key. It is present in child table, but it is usually belongs to parent table. So here department is a parent table, and this employee is a child table. Why it is a child table? Because it is taking the department number from the parent table. Same line here it is explained. It is also referred as referential integrity constraint. This is a note. Only primary key can travel to another table. When it travels, it becomes foreign key. So here in a department table, department number is a primary key. It is traveling to the employee table. That's why it is becoming foreign key. That is all about the primary key and foreign key. These are the 5 constraints we are using in an SQL. Let's understand the difference between primary key and foreign key. So primary key is a constraint which is used to assign to a column to uniquely identify. Foreign key is a constraint which is used to establish connection between the two tables. Primary key is a combination of unique and not null. Opposite to that, foreign key is not a combination of unique and not null. We can have only one primary key in a table, but we can have n number of foreign key in a table. Primary key is present parent table. Foreign key present in child table. Thank you for watching. Do like, do comment, do share. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.